Welcome back to Balanced Black Girl and welcome back to Solo Episode Summer. So I've been doing solo episodes all summer long, and this week's episode is a little special because I'm turning 35 this week. So the week that this episode is being released, it is actually my 35th birthday. And I wanted to do something special. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you may see that I'm in a beautiful studio. I switched it up a little bit to be in a really beautiful setting. I'm going to be talking about 35 things that I've learned by my 35th birthday, which is a lot of things. But I can't get into 35 things I've learned by my 35th birthday without reflecting a little bit on the past 10 years. First of all, the older I get, the more I understand that Casey and JoJo clip where it's like, time is slipping away from me. Like, I feel that so heavy because it truly feels like 5 minutes ago that I was just turning 25 and 10 years has gone by in the blink of an eye. And when I think about myself 10 years ago and when I was on the cusp of my 25th birthday, that was such a big turning point in my life. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, then you may have heard the episode I did last year talking about my 25 by 25. Essentially, I was experiencing quite the quarter life crisis. I was feeling really down after turning 24 and decided that when I turned 25, I didn't want to feel the same way. So I made a list of 25 things that I wanted to do by the time I was 25. And I only made it about halfway through the list, but just the practice of doing those things and pushing myself out of my comfort zone in that way really changed the trajectory of my life and changed the trajectory of the following 10 years. And I have had no such desire to do anything like that since, because I feel like that exercise really did what it needed to do. So this year I was not doing 35 by 35. I really wanted to focus less on doing and more on being and reflecting. I will also say, selfishly, I'm stepping into some big Leo energy for this episode because this episode is truly for me. Every other episode of this show that I have done has always been for and about everybody else. And I'm constantly thinking, what is the audience getting out of this? And what is their takeaway? And will they like this? But this week, I'm thinking, will I like this? Where am I at? This is like a little time capsule of my life in this very moment, in the same way that I look back on my 25-year-old self and all of the things that she did during that year to feel better in her own skin and in her own life. I look back at that time with fondness. I really want to do this episode so that, 10 years from now, when I'm turning 45, I can look back on my 35-year-old self with kindness and fondness. And so this episode is definitely going to be a little bit more personal because I truly am creating this for me and choosing to share it. So let's get into it. I'm going to stop yapping because 35 things is a lot of things. We have a lot to get into today, so I'm going to get into it. Number one thing that I have learned by the age of 35 is that no one is coming to save you. By no one is coming to save you, I mean you, I mean me. I think for so many of us, especially as women, we are conditioned to have this idea that some external force outside of us is going to be the thing that is going to fix us or is going to be the thing that is going to give us our happiness. If our bodies look a certain way, if we finally get that relationship, if we finally get that promotion, if this person finally notices us or whatever, we think that that is going to be the missing puzzle piece that is going to save the day for us. And I am learning that nobody is going to save the day for you. You have to save your own day. And I don't mean that in some hyper-independent stuff. I mean, you are in the driver's seat of your life. And the way that that has been hitting home, especially lately for me, is in business. Is I always keep thinking, okay, if I just get a certain number of followers, or if I just have like that one person to give me my big break and notice how great my work is, or, swoop in and do this to-do list for me. I very recently had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself where I was like, girl, nobody else is going to do the work that has been put on your plate. Nobody else is going to carry out your assignment for you. So regardless of what break you get in your business or what relationship you're in or whatever it is, you are still in the driver's seat of your life. You are still the person who needs to follow through on the assignments that you have been given in this life. And the sooner that you realize that and step into the power that comes from that, as opposed to waiting for someone else to do it for you, the better. Thing number 2, listen to your gut. Your intuition is always speaking to you. And if something feels off, it doesn't necessarily mean that the worst case scenario is going to happen. Like I just did a whole episode on best case scenario journaling and looking for the positive. But your internal intuition, your, gut, whatever it is that you want to call it, is constantly communicating with you. So follow the clues, don't ignore that feeling, and be open to what it has to teach you. The next thing, number 3, wisdom is recognizing how much you don't know. The older I get, the more I realize how much I don't know. And when you are in your late teens, your early 20s, you're kind of on the cusp of adulthood, you feel like you know everything. And the older you get, the more you realize you just don't know really anything, and that life is always going to have something to teach you. Similarly, number 4, intelligence isn't knowing everything. It's about being teachable and being willing to learn. When I think about the most ignorant people I know, they're the people who think that they know everything and are never open to new information, never open to learning, never open to understanding other people's perspectives. They're often the loudest about what they think they know. And when I think about the most intelligent, wise, thoughtful people, they truly are the ones who listen. They're trying to understand. They're constantly trying to learn. They're constantly trying to evolve. And I don't know about you, but I would so much rather be the latter than the former. And I think when we're in our 20s, we're so focused on figuring everything out and having the answer. And the older we get, the more we realize there is no answer and that you just need to be along for the ride. And I think the sooner that we understand that, the more peace we will have. Number 5, if you don't like something, you have more power to change it than you think. Just because you have more power to change it, though, doesn't mean that you're going to change it instantly. Recently, I was on another podcast and I was chatting with the hosts of that podcast, and they're a little bit younger, and they were talking about some of the FOMO that they were feeling, seeing other people's kind of highlight reels and things on social media. They're like, how is everybody going to Europe? How is everybody doing this? How is everybody doing that? And it was a big aha moment for me where I realized that when we have those feelings, we can mobilize to change those things. And I'm using this as kind of a superficial example. But if you look around on social media and you see it's summer and everybody is in Europe and you're like, dang, I am broke. I can't afford to go there. How did everybody end up in Paris at the Olympics and I'm still here at home on my couch watching? You have so much more power to change that than you think. And my own personal example of that is last summer in 2023. If you followed me on social media, you probably saw I had my little Euro summer moment. And anybody who doesn't know me or didn't know the behind the scenes leading up to that would probably think like either Les just gets to go do whatever she wants, or Les has a bunch of credit card debt to go have her Euro summer. You know what I mean? Or somebody handed that to her. Some man paid for that or whatever. What you may not know is that I very much had that same feeling in the summer of 2021 when it was that odd time when the first wave of vaccines came out and it felt like everybody was either in Tulum or Italy for whatever reason in 2021. I was having those hateration feelings of like, how is everybody affording to do this? And I'm still at home and can barely afford to get up off the couch. And when I had that realization, I was like, girl, if you want to go have your version of a Euro summer, take out a pen and a piece of paper, map out what it is you need to do, how much money you need to make, how much you need to save, start looking up some flights to understand how much they cost and everything you need, dot your I's, cross your T's, and make it happen. And it took 2 years of me plotting and planning and saving and working towards it. And finally, 2 years later, I got to have that experience. So that's just an example of you have so much more power to change something or to have the experiences that you want to have. But sometimes it's just going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take less hateration and more solution-oriented planning to get to where you want to be. And even if you can't do it in the instant that you have that feeling of discomfort or that feeling of FOMO, you can still do it later. But you need to put more of your energy towards making what you want to happen and less energy towards wondering how someone else got something. Number 6, and I've talked about this quite a bit on the podcast lately, but I feel like it's just worth reiterating. There is rarely a right or wrong decision. I think school and math class and religious entities have very much conditioned us to believe that when it comes to everything, we're either right or we're wrong. And I think that it can create so much almost decision fatigue and like decision paralysis because we get so afraid of making the wrong decision. And the older I get, the more I realize that it's pretty rare that a decision is just flat out right or flat out wrong. Every decision that we make leads us somewhere, and some decisions may lead you in a more linear fashion to where you want to be. Some decisions may lead you more towards a detour. But you can't be afraid to make a decision. You just got to make a move. And if that move gets you a little further from where you got to be, then you just need to course correct and figure it out along the way. But the only way that you can truly fail is by not doing anything and by being too afraid to move. Because even a move in the wrong direction will give you information for what you need to do to move in the right direction. Number 7. Taking leaps isn't about knowing that everything will work out. It's about knowing how to trust yourself and knowing that you will be able to land on your feet regardless. This is something that has been especially pertinent for me over the past year, just because I've had so many changes between moving across the country and leaving my corporate job to podcast full time and all of these things. And they were all things that I'd wanted to do for a while, especially going full time into podcasting. And for so long, I thought that I could only do it if I knew that I had this very firm, kind of non-negotiable safety net that was going to catch me. But I realized that there's no such thing as that. Of course, when we make big leaps or big changes, we want to be, thoughtful about it. We don't just want to leap into the void or, quit our job without having any sort of backup or any sort of savings or anything like that. But we're never going to feel 100% secure in everything that we do when it's time to take a leap. Get to a point where you feel comfortable enough, you have enough of a cushion, enough of a bounce back, but trust yourself enough to know that you will figure out whatever it is that you need to figure out. Because if you're waiting for conditions to be perfect, they're never going to be. And so when you learn how to trust yourself and know I'm going to make something shake regardless, that is when you'll feel more comfortable to take big leaps. The end of summer feels like one of the busiest times of the year. We're all finishing up our late summer travels, and keeping up with a wellness routine can feel impossible. But with Alo Moves, you can do both. Alo Moves is a health and wellness app that helps me keep up with my wellness routine wherever I am. From beginner to advanced, Alo Moves has the flow or class that will fit your schedule. Their classes range from 5 minutes to an hour, so if I'm on the move or at home, I can always make time for my wellness routine. It seriously has everything. There's yoga, Pilates, strength workouts, meditations, sound baths, nutrition tips, self-care tutorials, and so much more. It's really easy to see why Alo Moves is an award-winning app. Whether you want to start a guided program, try a new style of workout, or just stay on track with your wellness goals while on the go, Alo Moves has it all. And with over 100 new classes every month, Alo Moves keeps me hooked and motivated. It's like a constant stream of fresh vibes for my wellness journey. Recently, I've been getting back into my yoga practice and have found that studios near me don't always work with my schedule. So I love taking a yoga class on Alo Moves whenever works best for me, and it's helped my practice so much. Stay on top of your wellness routine no matter where you go. Sign up for Alo Moves today. Join alomoves.com and use the code BALANCED30 for an exclusive 30-day free trial, plus enjoy 20% off an annual membership. That's alomoves.com, code BALANCED30 for a free 30-day trial and 20% off an annual membership. alomoves.com, code BALANCED30. Now that I'm in my mid-30s, I am not playing around when it comes to taking care of my skin. I've been taking my skincare more seriously than ever because I want healthy skin as I age. And I've learned the key to great skin is healthy collagen. But did you know that after the age of 21, you start losing 1% of your collagen every year? Collagen is important because it gives natural support and firmness to the skin on your face, so we want all the help we can get maintaining our collagen. BioSil helps you generate your own collagen and protect the collagen you already have. Backed by over 30 years of research, BioSil is clinically proven to work for healthier hair, skin, and nails. It's been shown to increase skin elasticity by 89% and decrease the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles by 30%. Since starting it, I've noticed such an improvement in the health and appearance of my skin. BioSil is also vegan, it's GMO free, and is safe for those who are pregnant or breastfeeding. And while BioSil doesn't have any animal products in it, it does complement any existing collagen supplement intake that you have. So if you're also taking collagen peptides, BioSil works really well with that. Get 30% off your first product order on BioSil's website with the code BALANCEDLESS. Again, that's code BALANCEDLESS for 30% off your first product order or subscription exclusively on biosil.beauty. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any diseases. This podcast is brought to you by Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm on my own glow up and beauty journey. And while I want to look my best, I still want to feel like myself, not like I'm wearing a mask. And that is why I've been loving Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Foundation. Now, Bobbi Brown Cosmetics is known for their complexion products, and their new Weightless Skin Foundation is truly elite, turning non-foundation wearers like me, or like I used to be, into foundation wearers. The Weightless Skin Foundation has been 5 years in the making, and the Bobbi Brown team tested on over 7,000 faces to perfect the formula and color range to deliver on what we seek most in a foundation. So the result is you see your best skin, not makeup, which is right up my alley. So now that I'm focused on being more put together, I want to have a great base, but I hate feeling like I have something heavy on my face or wearing foundation that looks like foundation or that emphasizes any mark on my skin. You know what I mean? Bobbi Brown Weightless Foundation has beautiful coverage without feeling too cakey or heavy, and it really holds up on busy days. It really gives your skin but better. With 24-hour moisture and 24-hour wear, the Smart Skin Balancing technology adapts to what your skin needs. Bobbi Brown's ultra lightweight formula feels like nothing on your skin. It even stays put while on the move, even in humid climates. See more of the campaign and discover your perfect shade of Weightless Skin Foundation at bobbybrown.com. Okay, number 8. So much of what you are afraid of or feel limited by or bound by truly is not real. So much of it is literally fake. Things that either someone made up, limiting beliefs that someone else passed on to you, or just things that are figure outable. And so don't let things that aren't truly real or that don't have, hard consequences stop you from being where you want to be. Again, focusing on being solution oriented is really going to be the move for anything that you want to achieve in life. So don't be limited by things that truly are figure outable. Put in the effort to figure it out. Number 9, and I've said this on social media, you don't need a boyfriend. You need hobbies. And I wish I could have said that to my 22-year-old self, who was in all of these relationships when really I quite literally could have just picked up a book and read it and probably would have been better off. That's not to downplay companionship. Obviously, those things are very important. But look at the why behind what you're doing and the why behind the people who you're spending time around. A term that is almost getting to the point where it's making me cringe is lover girl. We've ran lover girl into the ground, and I get it. Listen, as somebody with a lot of Libra placements, I understand. However, there is a difference between being a lover girl and being a little desperate. And sometimes that void that we're looking to fill is something that could also be filled by stimulating hobbies, by creativity, by community, by pouring into ourselves. So just understand the difference. It's okay to have hobbies instead of a boyfriend. Just take it from me. Number 10, other people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They really don't. So looking to other people, especially other people who are in your same position for validation when they're also probably unhappy with themselves, and they also don't know what they're doing or where to go from here, is pretty useless. Look for internal validation because other people don't know what's going on, especially other people in your age group. Number 11, similarly, people just be talking. Unless you truly know someone's heart and you truly know their intentions and you truly know that they have what is best for you at heart, which unfortunately is going to be pretty rare of people, take everything they say with a grain of salt, because people just be talking and they don't know what they're talking about. Take it all with a grain of salt unless they are in your very trusted inner circle and you know their heart. Number 12, never give another person enough power to dictate how you feel about yourself. I'm going to say that again. Never give another person enough power to dictate how you feel about yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to be super stoic all the time. Like, we're all human. We all have feelings. People can do things that are hurtful and hurt your feelings. And it's okay to let yourself feel those feelings and be hurt. But at the end of the day, your inner foundation of how you feel about you has to be guided and dictated by you. And when you give someone else so much power over you that they're able to shake that foundation, that's when you know you've given up too much power and it's time to call it back in. And especially giving that power to somebody who isn't right with themselves, which is most people, that's power that they don't deserve. So call it back to yourself. Number 13, leave sooner and stay gone. Particularly when it comes to relationships that do not serve you. If something goes wrong, if somebody betrays your trust, if it is clear that somebody does not want you, leave sooner and stay gone. Don't come back. Don't spin the block. Leave sooner, stay gone. And this also goes for jobs that no longer serve you. I spent the first 5 years of my career out of college working at a company that I absolutely hated, at jobs that I absolutely hated. And I could have literally gone anywhere else, any other company, any other thing. But I felt so bound by the expectations to stay in one place that I wish I would have left sooner and stayed gone. And that can apply to so many different things in your life. You are not a tree. You can move. You can move on. There is always something else out there for you. So don't be bound to stay in one spot because of the expectations of other people. And be able to look through empty apologies. The number one apology is changed behavior. So if the words are not followed by action, leave sooner, stay gone. Number 14, stop trying to control other people and start focusing on having more control over your reactions and responses. You cannot control other people. You cannot control what other people say. You cannot control what other people do. You cannot control how other people treat you, but you can control how you react, how you respond to it, and what you allow. So if you take your hands off the wheel of trying to control outcomes and look more at controlling your own reactions and responses and understanding why you react and respond to things the way you currently do, that is going to be so much better for you in the long run. And this is a lesson that I've learned a lot more recently and that I'm still in the process of learning is how to stop overreacting. Like recently, I've had a few examples where I have overreacted to stuff that just wasn't that deep, where it was like people were genuinely trying to push my buttons and I let them and like lost my cool. And now looking back on it, even just instances from like within the past month, I'm like, again, why am I giving someone else so much power to control my reactions in that way? Because that's exactly what they were hoping to do. So I can't change that person and make them less annoying, but I can look within myself and be less annoyed by them because I am in control of what I'm annoyed by, even if they remain annoying. So that's a lesson I'm learning in real time. Number 15, no one is going to bet on you more than you bet on yourself. And this is very much related to number 1, like no one is coming to save you. Nobody is going to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, No one else is going to swoop in and magically see that potential for you. I do think we can be really fortunate where we do have people in our lives who see potential in us, but nobody is going to invest in you more than you invest in yourself. And other people's willingness to bet on you and invest in you is often a reflection of how much you are willing to bet on and invest in yourself. So it really starts with you. Number 16. Stop letting other people's limiting beliefs dictate what you believe is possible for you. So much of what people say and do and share and how they react is their own projections of what they believe is possible for them. And people will constantly tell you what isn't possible for you, or that your expectations are too high, or that you're asking for too much, or that you need to settle. And they're truly only saying that because that has been their experience. And even if it's not coming from a malicious place, like some people may even think that they're being kind and being helpful to you, they're speaking from their own limiting beliefs. So unless you want your situation to look exactly like theirs, I would not let other people's limiting beliefs dictate what you believe is possible for you. Again, people just be talking. We're taking what they say with a grain of salt, but I would really focus on pushing the limits of what you believe to be possible for you and to drown out the noise of what you hear from everybody else around you. Unless you are willing to do a full Freaky Friday life swap with that other person, don't let their beliefs cloud your beliefs. Number 17, your creativity and your creative pursuits are worthwhile even if they aren't perfect. You can be creative just for you. You can be creative as a means to express yourself, to have fun. Not everything has to be a business. Not everything has to be social media perfect. You can do things just for you, and your own happiness and self-expression is more than enough. Number 18. And this is maybe my biggest learning that I'm still navigating. The life you want is on the other side of allowing yourself to be seen. Whether that is professionally, putting yourself out there to be seen for opportunities, whether that is personally, putting yourself out there to be seen so that you attract the right people. It's pretty rare that the life that you want is going to be within the little cocoon that you've built for yourself. And you've got to learn how to exit the cocoon and feel safe enough exiting the cocoon to have the life that you want to live. Number 19. This is another current self-drag that I'm learning in real time. I told y'all, this episode is like notes to myself, things that I'm currently learning. Slow down and take your time. So much of the urgency that you feel is man-made, and again, is an example of something that is not real. Of course, you want to respect time. You want to respect people's time. So I'm not talking about, being timely, being on time for things. I'm talking about this internal need that we feel to rush and to do everything as quickly as possible. That is a man-made concept. That is made up. And I am getting so many love taps and reminders of how important it is to slow down, to be thorough in what I'm doing, to measure twice so that I cut once, because I've had a few examples in my life lately where I was not necessarily careful enough, where I wasn't paying enough attention, and it cost me. It cost me time. It cost me effort. I then have to go back and I have to redo things, and I have to rearrange my schedule and put in a lot more effort than if I would have slowed down and taken the time to do it right in the first place. So don't let man-made urgency rush you. Slow down. Do it right the first time. Number 20, similarly, you are better off going at your own pace than allowing yourself to be rushed into things that aren't right for you. This can apply to work. This can apply to personal things. I'm really thinking about this idea of the timelines that we have in our head of where we're supposed to be. You forcing yourself to stay on some man-made societal timeline can take you so far down a path that you are not meant to be on. So, like I said in the previous number, it's okay to take your time in the day-to-day little things that you do. It is also okay to take your time in this lived experience that you're having, because I would so much rather have something take longer but be right than to rush into something that is entirely wrong just to say that I did it by a certain time. Number 21, your scarcity isn't serving you. There's more than enough to go around of whatever it is that you desire. And that could be opportunities, that could be money, that could be partners, that could be friendships. There is a vast abundance of everything that we desire, even if it comes in a slightly different package or even if it's presented in a slightly different way. I truly believe that there is enough out there. There's enough life, there's enough goodness, there's enough abundance for all of us if we're willing to tap into it. And the idea of scarcity, particularly when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to connection, when it comes to all of these things, creates this energy that attracts so much of what we don't want. So don't let scarcity get the best of you. Number 22. This is a big one. No matter where you go, there you are. No matter where you go, there you are. This could apply to changing locations and new cities. This could apply to entering new relationships. This could apply to going to a different job or a different company. No matter where you go, there you are. And those things can definitely impact us. Our environment absolutely impacts us. Our jobs absolutely impact us. The relationships that we're in absolutely impact us. But the baggage that you have and the qualities that you have are going to be with you no matter where you go. And learning how to tell the difference between environmental factors and internal factors is really, really important for having the life that you want. So yes, update your environment, go for the things that are going to make you happy, but also look at some of the kind of self-sabotaging ways that you have currently. Because if you're self-sabotaging where you currently are and you go move somewhere else, you're going to take those same tendencies with you. So make sure that you're also unpacking as you're moving forward. Otherwise, you're just going to be hustling backwards. Number 23. I hate this one, but it's true. It's okay to feel it all. It is okay to feel your feelings. It is okay to be in touch with your feelings. This is something that I'm particularly working on in therapy. I will say I am not somebody who likes feelings. And so it's like a lifelong thing that I'm working on, is like letting myself feel my feelings. I, from a young age, was kind of conditioned that it wasn't okay to have negative feelings and that it wasn't okay to express negative feelings. And so I have a bad tendency of just internalizing them and not letting myself feel or be in touch with the full spectrum of emotions. So it's something that I'm currently unpacking, but I'm learning that you can't have good feelings and you can't feel good feelings if you also don't let yourself feel the full spectrum of feelings. So let yourself feel it all, even if it's uncomfortable and annoying. Feelings are not unproductive. They are part of the human experience, and they're part of what make us human to begin with. It's what separates us from, I don't know, being a plant or being a tree or whatever, is our ability to have feelings and emote. And it is okay to let yourself do so. Number 24, learn how to value your time, effort, and energy. If you are not getting a return out of the things that you're putting your time, effort, and energy into, then think long and hard about whether or not it is worth investing in. So if all you do is give, pour, drain, and there's never any reciprocity, really think long and hard about whether or not that situation, that place, that thing, that whatever is worth pouring your time, energy, and effort into. Because I truly think that those things are more valuable than money. Now, money is valuable, but our time, our energy, our effort are things that we can never truly get back. So if you are constantly pouring into things that are not at all pouring into you it's really time to reevaluate those priorities because you deserve to receive just as much as you give. And so if it's not coming back around in some way, really think about whether or not it should be prioritized. Number 25, you cannot be your highest self from your current comfort zone. Let me say that again. You cannot be your highest self from your current comfort zone. So that version of you that has that dream or that life or that thing that you want, her comfort zone is not where your current comfort zone is. Her threshold for what she's willing to push herself to do is higher. So if you want to become her, then you've got to really start pushing the limits of that comfort zone and expanding what you believe is possible. And we do that through little things each day. Those little tiny steps that we take outside of our comfort zone are little deposits to becoming the person that we want to be. So not saying put yourself, in danger, but find little ways to push that comfort zone a little bit more, like a personal boundary with yourself that you push to increase that threshold of risk that you're willing to take or comfort, because that's going to get you closer to being the person that you want to be. I've really been in my you've got food at home era and spending more time cooking and prepping my own meals, and Caraway has been essential in my kitchen. I love baking at the beginning of the week to enjoy my goodies throughout the week. And earlier this year, I got the Caraway bakeware set, and it has been the best bakeware I have ever used. This week for meal prep, I made protein breakfast biscuits and I baked them on my Caraway baking sheet, and they turned out perfect. The quality of Caraway products is amazing, and I don't have to worry about harmful chemicals getting into my food. Everything comes out even and well cooked, and I feel like I finally have a grown woman kitchen. I got the black bakeware set, and it is so chic. Caraway's internet famous kitchenware is a staple for any home and comes in various modern shades to fit with any design aesthetic. Ditch the chemicals with Caraway. Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenware features a chemical-free ceramic coating so food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce chemicals will leach into your healthy ingredients. And just as a reminder, their internet famous cookware set comes with a sauté pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan, plus lids for all of them, a canvas lid holder, and magnetic pan rack for storage. It's the ultimate kitchen setup and will save you $150 versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/balanceless, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/balanceless or use the code balanceless at checkout. And don't forget to mention that you heard about Caraway from us in their post-purchase survey. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. I've been taking my recovery more seriously these days, from stretching after workouts to getting more sleep to replenishing my electrolytes after I sweat. And my favorite way to get my electrolytes in is with Element. Element is a zero-sugar electrolyte drink mix with enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium to get you feeling and performing your best. Element is really for anyone on a mission to restore health through hydration, because oftentimes plain water alone doesn't cut it. If you're sweating, you need to be replenishing what you lose through your sweat. The right balance of electrolytes can help you maintain steady energy, improve cognitive function, support your digestion and healthy sleep, can support your skin health, and can help alleviate things like headaches and muscle cramps. That's why Element was formulated with a science-backed ratio of electrolytes without sugar or other dodgy ingredients. I drink Element every day. My favorite flavors are the grapefruit salt, watermelon, and citrus salt, but you really can't go wrong with any flavor. I love adding a packet to my water bottle each day or having a can of Element sparkling if I'm on the go. You can try Element totally risk-free. If you don't like it, they'll refund your order, no questions asked, but I really don't think that's going to be a problem because it's so good. Get your free Element sample pack with any purchase at drinkelement.com/balanceless. That's drinklmnt.com/balanceless. And also try the new Element Sparkling, a bold 16-ounce can of sparkling electrolyte water. Grocery shopping can feel tedious week after week, which is why I'm always looking for ways to streamline the process. And making regular orders from Thrive Market has been a lifesaver. I love that Thrive Market only allows trusted, top quality ingredients while restricting over 1,000 harmful ingredients like artificial flavors, high fructose corn syrup, and more. They make it easy for me to keep healthy grocery items on hand with the click of a button. Now, because I've been a Thrive Market member for so long and have such a long purchase history, I can use the Buy It Again feature and on-site filters to easily find what I'm looking for and repurchase my favorite items to get them delivered to my door. Now, I especially appreciate this living in the city so that I don't have to carry a bunch of heavy grocery items home or get on the bus or get on the train. Getting everything delivered to my doorstep is so convenient. I often filter for things like high protein or low sugar. Not only do I save time shopping as a Thrive Market member, I also save money on every single order. On average, I save over 30%. They even have a price match guarantee and a deals page I love checking out that changes weekly. On my last order, I spent $40 less than I would have for the same items at the grocery store, which is amazing. When you join Thrive Market, you're also helping a family in need with their 1-for-1 membership matching program. Save time and money and shop at Thrive Market today. Go to thrivemarket.com/balanceless for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/balanceless. thrivemarket.com/balancedless. Okay, number 26. This is a real note to self. Do not, I repeat, do not skip your dental checkups. Go to the dentist. I know you think, okay, I brush my teeth all the time. I floss. I'm good. It's not good. That $100 cleaning that you don't want to pay for today will be thousands of dollars of dental work that you will have to pay for tomorrow. Okay? Go to the dentist every 6 months. Don't skip it. Trust me, it's not worth it. It's not worth the trauma. Go to the dentist and don't skip it. Similarly, number 27, while we're talking about teeth, wear your retainer. Wear your retainer, because it was my version of myself about 10 years ago that stopped wearing my retainer thinking, oh, I've been wearing this for about 10 years. It's fine. My teeth are fine. I reiterate, when it comes to your teeth, it is not fine. You have to do the thing that you don't want to do. You have to go to the dentist. You have to wear the retainer forever. Otherwise, 10 years from now, you will have to pay thousands of dollars for Invisalign to fix your teeth, because somehow after 10 years of wearing your retainer and then 10 years of not wearing your retainer, your teeth will be worse than they started. So go to the dentist, wear your retainer, save your coins. Otherwise, your teeth will cost you a lot of money. And you got to pay it because your teeth are very important for your overall health. So just do it. Number 28, stop working out on an empty stomach. Stop drinking coffee on an empty stomach and then immediately going to go work out. You're not doing your body any favor. You are ruining your hormones. You're not getting stronger because you're not actually able to push yourself enough to push your fitness. You're really just turning yourself into a stress case. So please eat something before you have coffee. Eat something before you work out. Fuel your body properly, and it will pay dividends in the future. Number 29, ask for what you want and what you need with your full chest. Stop being afraid to ask for what you want. Stop being afraid to ask for what you need. People are not mind readers, and there is no award out there for being the person who needs the least. Actually, the only award there is for the person who needs the least is the person who doesn't get anything. People can't read your mind. A closed mouth does not get fed. People are not going to magically know how to support you or how to give you what you want if they don't know what you need. Be vocal about it. Be audacious about it. Keep asking, keep requesting, ask for help, ask for something for free. I don't know. Just keep asking for things. And if you practice asking for little things, you will be less afraid to ask for the big things when you really need them. So don't be afraid to be the squeaky wheel. Ask for what you need, ask for what you want, because you are so much more likely to get it. Do not be the person who tells yourself no. And by not asking for what you want or asking for what you need or asking for help, it's like automatically telling yourself no. Number 30. If someone leaves you feeling like they don't want you, believe them. Believe them the first time. Believe them the minute that feeling crosses your mind where you're like, I don't think that I'm appreciated here, or something is a little off here. Believe them. Believe it. Again, trust people's actions more than their words. A while ago, I did an episode talking about how to get what you want in archetype embodiment. And one of the things in that episode that I talked about was being more comfortable in social situations when you think about how your actions and conversations with other people leave them feeling, right? It's really important to think about, okay, well, how do people feel when they interact with me or when they hang out with me? If people leave me feeling good, then they're going to want more of that. People know when they make you feel uneasy. People know when they leave you in the dark, when they leave you guessing, when they mistreat you. And so when you also turn that onto yourself and say, hey, this person is willing to leave me in this state of distress and is willing to make it so abundantly clear that they don't want to be a part of my life, they don't want to treat me right, they don't want to be present, believe them. That is important information. You don't need to convince anybody to do differently. Just believe it and move forward. Number 31, and this might be controversial. Again, this is a note to myself. A job is just a job. It is not your identity. It is not your worth. Get in the job, make the money you need to make, earn the skills you need to learn, make the connections you need to make, and don't be afraid to move on to the next one. Don't stay in a job out of loyalty to a company, out of loyalty to a boss or whatever. Your number one priority has to be you. A job is just a job. So do what you need to do to make your money. Do what you need to do to pay your bills. Do what you need to do to get some skills to make the next thing better and to earn you more money the next time. But your worth and identity has nothing to do with your job. A job, for many of us, is something that we do to be able to survive and earn a living. And if you don't feel much of a connection to your job outside of that, that is okay. And if you do feel more of a connection to your job outside of that, that's great. But for a lot of people, that's just not the reality. And that is okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of if you don't feel this connection to your job being your greatest purpose. It's also okay for a job to just be a place where you earn money and you learn stuff and then you move on to the next. I am one of those people who I do better in jobs when I have that mindset, and I wish that I would have understood and adopted it so much earlier because it would have saved me so much stress and would have helped me a lot more financially. So just food for thought if you don't feel super connected to your job. Number 32, don't expect other people to show up for you if you are not willing to show up for yourself. This, I think, is a really big one, especially when it comes to friendships. I know that in a lot of friendships, I have left myself feeling like people don't show up for me the ways that I want them to, or people don't celebrate me in the ways that I want them to. And it's also been a recent realization that it's because I don't necessarily show up for myself in the ways that I would hope that people would show up for me. People are looking to you for cues on how to treat you, and how people treat you is often a reflection of how you treat yourself. So as you treat yourself certain ways, you are setting the tone and telling other people how to treat you. And really, those relationships with other people start with how you treat yourself in the day-to-day. So by showing up for yourself, you are teaching other people how to show up for you. Number 33, treat your time like you treat your money. The same way you have a budget for your money and you track where you spend your money and you use your budget to tell your money where to go, You will feel so much better about time if you learn how to allocate your time the same way. So tell your time where to go. And the best way to tell your time where to go is to really understand what it is that you need to focus so that things take less time. You spend less time doing, the external stuff that you just kind of feel like you need to do, and you have more time for yourself to do the things that matter most to you. And so take a good hard look at how you're spending time. Put an hourly rate to the things that you're doing. Let's say your time is worth $40 an hour. I don't know. I'm just pulling this out of nowhere. And you spend 5 hours on TikTok. Okay. So is that TikTok time worth $200 of your time, or however much? 40 times 5. Yeah, that's 200. Is that worth would you hand over $200 to spend 5 hours scrolling on TikTok? These are conversations that I have to have with myself. But really look at how you allocate your time and treat your time how you treat your money. When you learn how to treat your time the way you treat your money, you will become so much more conscientious of how you spend it. Make time work for you and tell your time where you want it to go. And you do that by managing your focus and managing your attention. Number 34, and this is a tough one. This is a big pill to swallow. Affirmations and manifestation work for negative things too. I'm going to say that again. Affirmations and manifestation work for negative things too. So be careful what you wish for. I am so lucky that I feel like I've manifested some really beautiful experiences and things in my life. And I can also think of concrete examples of times where I have manifested some not so good things. That doesn't mean that every bad thing that happens in life is something that you manifest. That's not what I'm saying at all, because also life be lifing. But there are times where there have been certain instances where I am like, wow, I really ruminated over this bad thing happening, and I gave the potential of this bad thing happening so much energy, and then that bad thing happened exactly how I ruminated. And so being really, really mindful of what it is that we are affirming is super important. So are you affirming and ruminating over the potential of things being good? Or are you ruminating over the potential for things being bad? Because you kind of have the power to pull things one direction or another. So learning how to give more of your attention in your affirmation and that good manifestation juju and power and energy towards the good things that you want is so important, because if all you're doing is talking bad about yourself, talking down to yourself, and you are repeating and ruminating on that, then you are just affirming those negative beliefs about yourself. So just understand that it works both ways. And if you find yourself doing more of like that affirming and manifesting the negative, then start chipping away at it, belief by belief, until you can move that over to the other side. Okay, we've come to the last lesson that I'm going to be talking about in this episode. I'm sure that there's probably more lessons that I've learned, but these are the 35 things that I could think of. Number 35, you have so much more potential in life ahead of you that you have barely tapped into. Life is not over. The opinions of other people and what they believe is possible by certain ages doesn't have to apply to you. The only thing that applies to you is what power you give those thoughts and those beliefs. And if you believe that you are just getting started and that you have so much more ahead of you and you are willing to take the steps to getting what's ahead of you, then it's endless. But if you believe that you are bound by this time or this age or this thing, then that will be true as well. So you get to choose your own truth. But I choose to believe that I'm just getting started. So that is the energy that I plan to carry into my 35th year. Okay, so those are 35 things that I have learned by the age of 35. These are all of the notes and reminders that I am giving myself. I hope that some of them also resonated with you as well. If you enjoyed this episode, I would say probably the best birthday gift you could give me is to make sure you are subscribed to the show on Apple and Spotify because it helps us so much. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a rating and a review. We aim to be 5-star girlies here. So if you have not yet left a 5-star rating for Balanced Black Girl, that would be the best birthday gift. And the other best birthday gift you could give me would be sharing this episode or sharing the podcast with a friend. If everybody who listens just shares the podcast with one other person, think about all of the people that we could help and all of the positive messaging that could ruminate to all of the balanced baddies out there. So if you are looking to celebrate my birthday with me, subscribing, rating, sharing with a friend is the best gift that you could give me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I hope you are enjoying solo episode summer. We only have one more solo episode left. One more next week. Going to be talking all about how to refresh your wellness routines for fall. And then after that, we're getting into fall. So make sure you're subscribed. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next week.